The night sky over New Jersey was never truly quiet. It always carried the hum of distant planes, the glow of city lights, and the silent watch of stars. But on one cold evening in late 2024, something different appeared, something that defied all logic. People who looked up that night did not see just stars. They saw orbs of light, glowing, hovering, and moving with a strange intelligence. Street cameras and doorbell recordings captured them. A white ball of light drifted slowly above a quiet neighborhood, spinning softly like a living flame. A family stood in their driveway, frozen in silence, their breath visible in the cold air. A child whispered, "What is that?" But no one could answer. Social media exploded with videos, dozens, then hundreds. Each clip showed the same thing: lights that did not blink like aircraft lights, objects that moved without sound, without wings, without engines. It was as if the night itself had come alive. Soon the panic reached the news. Some reporters called them drones. Others whispered the word UFO. But deep down, everyone knew this was not normal. And as the hours passed, more lights appeared. They gathered above highways, near houses, even above the Atlantic Ocean. It was like a silent invasion that no one could explain. The first night was quiet, but the air carried a strange tension. In a small New Jersey town, a man named Daniel Lopez was driving home after work. His dashboard clock showed 9:47 p.m. As he turned onto an empty street, his headlights caught something unusual. A soft, glowing orb floating just above the tree line. It wasn't moving like a helicopter or plane. It hovered, completely silent, as if watching him. Daniel stopped his car and rolled down the window. There was no wind, no sound, only a strange hum like static electricity buzzing inside his ears. He grabbed his phone and started recording. The light pulsed, almost as if it knew he was there, then suddenly shot upward and vanished into the clouds with impossible speed. He sat frozen, gripping his steering wheel, his heart pounding. That same night across the state, dozens of people were looking up. Security cameras from suburban homes captured strange lights forming in the sky. A mother in Newark called her children outside to see the dancing stars above the rooftops. The lights moved in perfect patterns like intelligent machines. Some glowed white, others shifted to red or blue. They didn't flicker like planes. They glided, stopped, and even rotated in midair. By midnight, social media was flooded with videos. Clips showed glowing orbs over highways, neighborhoods, and coastal waters. On a beach near Atlantic City, a fisherman named Robert Hayes dropped his net and stared at a cluster of lights moving silently over the ocean. "They're too close," he muttered, recording as the lights mirrored each other's movements, as if communicating in a silent language. Police lines began ringing across New Jersey. Callers reported drone swarms, alien lights, and silent discs. A highway patrol officer, Lisa Turner, described seeing 5 glowing objects hovering above Interstate 80. "They weren't like anything I've ever seen," she said later. "They were just watching us." News outlets began calling it the New Jersey drone outbreak. Officials told the public these were research drones, but even in these first hours, something felt wrong. The objects didn't behave like drones. They moved with impossible speed, vanishing from one place and appearing miles away in seconds. For the people who saw them, it was more than strange, it was terrifying. Daniel Lopez, still shaken in his car, replayed his video over and over. The light wasn't mechanical. It wasn't a trick. It felt alive. By the next morning, the strange lights over New Jersey had become national news. News anchors replayed blurry videos from phones and security cameras, each showing the same glowing orbs. Headlines read, "UFOs over New Jersey," and "Mysterious drone swarms." The Federal Aviation Administration, FAA, quickly released a statement. A spokesperson explained that these were authorized research drones, and there was no danger to the public. But the statement felt rehearsed, and it didn't match what people had seen. The orbs in the videos had no visible propellers, no blinking red or green lights required for drones, and no sound. In Washington, White House Press Secretary Carolyn Leavitt assured reporters that the objects were harmless. She smiled and said, "The FAA is conducting aerial tests. There's nothing to fear." Yet, in the same breath, she refused to answer why local law enforcement hadn't been warned about the supposed tests. Police departments across New Jersey reported confusion. No one had been told about a drone operation that large. People began to suspect a cover-up. If these were truly drones, why did the lights move as if they were alive? Why did they vanish into thin air, only to reappear miles away? Videos kept spreading on social media despite official explanations. One clip showed a glowing orb silently hovering just above the Hudson River. It emitted a faint blue glow, reflecting on the water like moonlight. When a ferry approached, the orb darted straight up into the sky and disappeared in seconds. Even seasoned pilots watching the footage admitted, "No drone can move like that." Some residents, like Daniel Lopez, refused to believe the government's story. "That was no drone," he told local reporters. "I know what I saw. I've flown drones myself. That thing wasn't human-made." Rumors of a secret military experiment began to swirl. Others whispered that the government was trying to hide a true UFO event. The more the FAA insisted there was nothing to see, the more people believed that something extraordinary had just happened. As the nights passed, more witnesses came forward. Each story painted a picture of something beyond ordinary understanding. On December 8th, members of the U.S. Coast Guard were patrolling the Atlantic coastline. A young officer, barely 25, looked up from the deck and froze. Above the waves, a swarm of glowing orbs was moving silently in a perfect V formation. The lights kept pace with the vessel, gliding at the same speed, 20 knots, without a sound or any sign of propulsion. "They were watching us," one sailor later told a reporter, his voice low and tense. "We're trained to spot drones and aircraft. These weren't drones. They moved like they were alive." His words were met with silence from Washington. No one in the government seemed willing to talk about the Coast Guard's sighting. In Maryland, Governor Larry Hogan reported seeing dozens of lights hovering above his private home. At first, he thought they were helicopters, but they made no sound, and when he looked through his binoculars, he saw something shocking: spherical objects glowing with a steady, otherworldly white light. He later admitted, "It was unlike anything I've seen before. They weren't drones. They weren't planes. I don't know what they were." One of the most chilling accounts came from a woman named Angela Torres. She was walking her dog near a quiet park in Newark just after 10 p.m. The streetlights flickered, and the dog began to bark furiously. Angela looked up and saw a glowing ball of light descending toward her slowly, as if curious. She described it as a ball of fire trapped in glass, glowing blue at the edges. Her phone video showed the object hovering silently before shooting straight up into the clouds in less than a second. On social media, these accounts exploded. Videos of orbs hovering over highways and rooftops were shared millions of times. In one clip, a bright white light floated above a gas station. Drivers stopped their cars, recording as the orb split into two separate lights, both moving in opposite directions before vanishing in the night sky. No drone could perform a maneuver like that. Even local police officers became witnesses. Officer Lisa Turner, who first reported strange objects above Interstate 80, recorded her own dashcam footage. The video showed 3 glowing spheres hovering in a triangle pattern over the road. "They were so close I could feel my skin tingle," she recalled. "When I stepped out of my car, the lights just disappeared. It's like they knew I was there." By now, the New Jersey drone outbreak no longer felt like a drone story at all. To the witnesses, these lights weren't machines. They were something else, something that felt alive, intelligent, and deliberately watching. As the days passed, the mystery only deepened. Videos continued to surface, bright orbs gliding silently across the skies of New Jersey and New York. Yet the FAA's story did not change. They insisted these were drones, nothing more. But people who saw the lights with their own eyes knew that something about this explanation didn't add up. For one, the lights had no red or green collision signals, signals required on all drones at night. Instead, these orbs glowed with a smooth, steady light, almost like plasma. Witnesses described the glow as alive, shifting between white, blue, and amber, unlike anything mechanical. Secondly, their movement defied logic. They hovered in perfect stillness, then shot across the sky at impossible speeds. Some orbs appeared to merge into one another, as if they could change shape. Others stopped midair, as if observing the ground below before vanishing instantly. Even experienced drone pilots admitted, no human drone can do that. There was also the silence. No buzzing motors, no engine hum, just quiet. People recorded videos with only the sound of their own breathing or the wind as the lights floated overhead. And then came the strangest reports. On one winter evening, a delivery driver named Kevin spotted an orb hovering low above a residential street. As he watched, the lights from nearby houses dimmed, as if the power was being drained. The orb flickered once, twice, and then shot straight into the sky, leaving the street in silence and darkness for a few seconds. Scientists who saw the videos couldn't agree on an explanation. Some speculated about ball lightning, a rare natural phenomenon, but most admitted these orbs didn't look or behave like any lightning they had ever studied. Others suggested advanced military technology, but no branch of the U.S. military claimed responsibility. Meanwhile, people started to question why the FAA and federal government were being so vague. If this was truly a research drone operation, why were local police, governors, and even Congress members left in the dark? The lack of answers only fueled conspiracy theories. Was this a test of secret technology, a cover-up of something extraterrestrial, or something else entirely, something that humans were never meant to see? The silence from officials made the public even more certain. Whatever those lights were, the truth was being hidden. As the lights continued to appear, the media's tone began to change. In the first days, local news stations ran headlines like UFOs over New Jersey and mysterious lights in the sky. But within a week, the coverage grew quiet, almost too quiet. The mainstream networks repeated the FAA's official statement. They are research drones, nothing more. To the public, it felt staged, as if someone had told the media to stop asking questions. Witnesses who tried to share their videos online noticed that some posts were mysteriously removed. Others claimed that their footage was flagged as misleading or edited, even when it was raw and uncut. This silence only fueled suspicion. If the lights were harmless drones, why did the story suddenly vanish from the news? Why did politicians who once demanded answers suddenly stop talking? Two local congressmen, Chris Smith and Jeff Van Drew, were initially vocal, criticizing the government's vague explanations. But after private meetings in Washington, they went quiet. When reporters asked them about the sightings weeks later, both declined to comment. To many people, this was proof that something bigger was being covered up. Conspiracy theories exploded online. Some claimed the lights were alien reconnaissance crafts scanning the region. Others believed they were advanced military prototypes, technology so secret that the government would never admit its existence. Then came a theory that frightened everyone. What if these objects weren't drones or aliens, but something else entirely? A phenomenon beyond human understanding. Some experts pointed to the way the orbs seemed to interact with each other, like living organisms communicating silently in the night sky. Even the most skeptical voices struggled to dismiss the videos. A well-known aviation engineer stated, "If these are drones, they are far beyond anything we have. The way they hover, the way they accelerate, it's not standard technology. At least not technology we know." The lack of answers left the public restless. In the absence of truth, speculation became the only fuel keeping the story alive. But the mystery was far from over. As the weeks passed, the strange lights faded from the night skies of New Jersey, but the questions never stopped. People demanded answers, yet the official narrative remained unchanged. Just research drones. For many, that explanation was far too simple for something so extraordinary. Theories began to multiply. Some believed the lights were extraterrestrial probes silently studying the region. The way the orbs hovered and shifted color felt intelligent, almost as if they were scanning the environment. Witnesses described a strange feeling when looking at them, like being observed by something that wasn't human. Others suggested a secret military experiment, possibly involving next-generation aircraft powered by exotic energy sources. A few whistleblowers hinted online that certain government agencies had been experimenting with plasma-based propulsion, crafts that glow like fireballs because of ionized air surrounding them. But no official source confirmed these claims. A small group of skeptics argued the sightings were CGI hoaxes or private drones, but even they admitted some of the videos were too detailed, too raw to be faked. The footage of orbs splitting in midair or darting into the sky at impossible speeds remained unexplained. More chilling was the pattern some researchers noticed. In the weeks following the outbreak, power outages and strange electromagnetic interferences were reported in several towns. Devices would fail whenever the orbs were near. Was this coincidence, or a sign that these lights carried an energy beyond human technology? One independent investigator watching hours of footage said, "If these are drones, they're not ours. And if they are not drones, then we're facing something we can't control or predict." The people of New Jersey were left with fragments of the truth, shaky videos, silent witnesses, and a growing sense that something was being hidden from them. Perhaps the lights were a glimpse of technology from another world. Perhaps they were a reminder that the sky above us holds secrets we are not yet ready to understand. The lights may have faded, but the mystery remains. Over New Jersey, something happened that winter, something that cannot be explained by simple words like drone or ball lightning. Those who witnessed it will never forget the silent orbs that glided across the night sky, as if watching humanity from above. Perhaps the truth is still hidden, buried beneath government statements and media silence. Or perhaps the truth is far greater, something beyond the limits of human understanding. The sky has always held secrets, but now those secrets feel closer than ever. What do you think? Were these lights advanced drones, or were they something not from this earth? Leave your thoughts in the comments below. And if you want to uncover more mysteries like this, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to X Site, and join us on the next journey into the unknown.